Good morning, and welcome to day 3 in Honduras. Um, this is Friday morning, and it's about 6 a.m. here, which makes it 7 a.m. in Tennessee. They are on Central Standard Time here, but they don't honor daylight savings time, so um, they don't factor that in. Actually, I've only been up for about 15 minutes. I wanted to do like I did yesterday and get up with the group. I'm a little bit further away from the buildings, and I'm a little more comfortable talking louder than I did yesterday. Although I don't want to bother anyone. Behind me is the gate for the complex that we're in. You can see there's a big chain on it. Gate's shut. It's locked. They keep it this way, obviously for our protection. Their whole perimeter has a fence around it with razor wire at the top. And man, again, that's for our protection, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around. There's a couple of really beautiful things I'd like to get on camera for my audience here, whether it be my church family or my YouTube family, or my family that watches these videos. I want to show you how this opens up into just this lush, beautiful place. So I'm going to turn the camera around here and turn my viewfinder around. Alright, so this is like the driveway leading into it. So we got cane, bamboo, what we made cane poles out of as a kid. So you got bamboo on either side, creating this corridor effect. And we're going to walk up here. And we're going to showcase some of the beauty that's in this place. As I walked around yesterday, couldn't help but notice that a lot of the planters that are used here are like dead stumps and things. And they take these dead stumps and somehow get these plants to grow in them. And a lot of stuff is tropical, if you will. But some, like that plant right there, is an azalea of some sort. That's an azalea of some sort. We can grow them in the States, obviously. Not sure what that is, but it almost looks like it's furry or whatever, and it's not. It's just really thick. Alright, and that looks like being a magnolia tree of some sort. But this is one of the things that I was wanting to show you. This, I believe, is called a bottle brush tree. And there aren't as many in it today. We may have to locate them today. But there were about 20 hummingbirds in this tree yesterday, flittering around, and it was so pretty. I was over here just a moment ago, and there were a few, and I hope I didn't scare them all. Oh, there they are. See if I can't zoom in on them. Where'd you go? There's one. They're back in there. But I'm probably not able to get this on camera like I'd like. But they're all over the place. It's so pretty. I mean, literally, you could stand here and watch these things for hours, just watching them, how fast their wings move and everything. And there's other birds that'll get up here and They just sing real pretty. And I don't know. I think it's pretty neat. All right, so then there's these right here. I believe that's called a bird of paradise. There's several back in there. All right, so this is the pathway that leads back to the buildings that are our rooms. I mean, even the trees are just beautiful. But you see, that's like a large dead tree that different things have been planted in it or allowed to grow. And they do have some regular planters, like appears to be concrete. But there's another stump right there. And so back, so I walk down this little pathway. Back in this area is where I filmed yesterday. Back here. And I walked across that bridge the first day we were here, just kind of evaluating it. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the work yesterday. The work was very hard, very hard. Some things I probably failed to share in my videos to this point were one of the struggles that we had is when we went to drive up to our building site, the road was closed for construction. They actually make it's like cobblestone roads where it's basically concrete roads with small stones placed. And it's very pretty and it's effective, works. But they were working on the section of road that was uphill from our house, and I think you could see that on the video I made. That hummingbird scared me. So we couldn't access it that way, but we had to drive up the hill and figure it out. And we had like a 40-minute delay for that because Richard had to walk up to him and talk to him and see what was going on. Anyhow, we found another way, but then instead of walking downhill, which was kind of rough, to our site, we had to walk uphill, which was incredibly hard because then it took time for us to get everything up there. Incredibly strenuous. And then we had to get set up after that. Then we had some trouble setting the poles that we had because although there were holes in the ground, they weren't where they needed to be exactly. And so we had to use tamping bars and things to bust through the rock, which was tough to get the holes in the right place. So anyhow, that was difficult. The other thing is these boards are supposed to be 18 foot long, and they're anywhere from 18 foot 2 inches to 18 foot 8 inches long, or maybe even longer. And the cuts aren't square, so we're literally having to cut one end and put them up, and then we're gonna, I believe, rip the other side once we, get a line to rip. I think it'll be faster than trying to cut them both, and being 18 foot long, they're just a little difficult to handle, as one could imagine. But this morning we're heading over to Richard's house. I hope to get a little bit on film of our vacation Bible school. We're actually going to be walking to a school from Richard's house and picking up somewhere around 50 to 60 kids, which is pretty sweet for our little vacation Bible school. And like I said, I hope we can get some of that on film. We're going to be doing some stuff about Jonah. I think we've got a little skit to do. And we've got a little activity for him to do, a little cutout, which is pretty sweet. It's actually really clever. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to interacting with the kids, man. We've been here, but we've not really gotten to interact with people a whole lot. They keeping us safe and whatnot. And it'll be neat to get out and walk a little bit. We go from one gated spot to another gated spot, and I don't know. I'm just ready to interact. So that'll be fun. Feel like we're starting to gain some acceptance by the young men that have been helping us on our job sites, because they're seeing that we're workers too. We're willing to get in, get dirty, and dig holes and swing pickaxes and chip out rock and pick up boards, and we're right in there with them. We're not asking them to do it. We're doing it ourselves. I think we're gaining some acceptance that way, which is pretty cool. Got a lot of sunburn yesterday. My neck and everything, face. So we're gonna have to be careful. I think we went through a case of water yesterday, and look, somebody's been out here and dropped their watch. That's part of our group. Now I have to figure out whose it is. It feels like it's been out there all night. So I'll figure out whose this is in just a minute. But sun was a problem because there was roughly no shade up there. Toby and our group actually took some of the roofing tin that we had and made like a lean-to and created shelter. And I got under it a few times. But you can imagine lifting a 30-pound bar to chip out rock with the sun beating down on you. We went through a case of water yesterday, and not to be graphic or anything, but that was without ever using the bathroom. Nobody ever had to stop and take a potty break because we're sweating it all out or using it through our work or whatever. The sun was dehydrating us. Hard work, sun beating down on you, and yet we found time to have some fun. The adobe bricks that I was showing you, when it came time to make the filler, I actually threw some into the job site and let one of the young guys hit it with a hammer in the air, because we were busting them up anyway. And he got a kick out of that, and we did that several times. But you can have fun while working hard. So anyhow, Vacation Bible School this morning. Put this in my pocket. Vacation Bible School this morning. So breakfast, then that, then lunch, and then we hope to get back over to the job site. I am going to stand here, I believe, and I'm going to stand here, I believe, and watch these hummingbirds for just a moment. And I'm going to find out whose watch this is. But I think that's going to be it for right now, guys. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope we don't get burned any worse today, and I hope we can meet some of these kids. The next video you should see is maybe of us walking down to pick them up and see that process. But I'm excited. Yeah, that's going to do it, man. I'm going to cut this off, and it's going to be a good day. Thanks.